don't take accountability. Women don't take accountability. Woman takes.
This woman definitely doesn't take accountability. This is Samantha Lee Gibson, Tyrese's ex-wife. We're going to get more into this, but first, this is Yobachi 2007 back at you with another one. So let's start to take a tope of what she's talking about.
Unfinalize it. No. 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 A lot of things were blown out of proportion, but at the end of the day, if you watch the entire interview, I guarantee you have a different perspective than what we had. And so
she's talking about the interview that we profiled in this video here, where she pretended to give accountability or to take accountability for leaving her husband under emotional circumstances, and as if she was making some great admission, talking about how other people were in her ear, and if she had some different people in her ear, then she wouldn't have made that decision at that time. And then Tyrese came out and blasted her and demonstrated that she was just lying anyway, that she had people like Creflo Dollar's wife, and who's calls herself a pastor, and then another wife of another pastor, I forget the guy's name, Gray, his wife, were both counseling her. Even one of them was in the house with her the day as she was packing up to leave. And so here she comes back responding to the backlash, and that's what we're getting into here. Before we do that, hit me with the like, the subscribe, and all that stuff. When you hit that subscribe button, definitely check that bell at the top. That'll make sure that you get notifications at the top of that drop down. So you click that subscribe. There's a drop down caret to the right. Click on that. Make sure you get the bell so that you get these notifications, because YouTube isn't big on trying to surface certain folks. So appreciate that. We're going to get right back into the program.
When we're talking about, oh, women don't take accountability, it's like, okay, well, if you're not creating the atmosphere for people to take accountability, they're not going to take accountability. That's the point. If you are going to attack people for their truth, y'all, even men that are on here, if your woman is asking you to be honest with her, right? If your woman is asking you to be honest with her, and every time you're honest with her, either she reacts poorly or she weaponizes it after the fact, are you still going to be open with that individual?
This is the unaccountability queen. As I said in that initial video, that she was coming out pretending to be humble and pretending to make what she was pretending to be an accountable and humble admission, but was complete unaccountability again, as she blamed other people and said it depended on who was in her ear, what her behavior and actions were, and her choice to destroy her family that she made a commitment to before God. And she talks as if it's up to somebody else to convince her to be in her ear to make the decision for her on what she does with her life. Here she is again talking about somebody else needs to create conditions for her to be accountable. That is absurd. Your accountability comes from your character. Either you're going to be accountable because it's within your character to take responsibility for what you do and stand forward on the reality and on the facts of your wrong and accept. See, a part of accountability is consequences. You accept the consequences of being accountable. That's a part of what being accountable is. What she wants to do is to have people say, oh, you're so brave for coming out and telling us this. You're so brave for sharing. And then no criticism about the actual thing that you did that is wrong. If you're not willing to receive criticism and even consequences for the wrong thing you're supposedly taking accountability for, you're not being accountable. This lady is just off the charts.
Either she reacts poorly or she weaponizes it after the fact. Are you still going to be open with that individual? No, you're not. You're not going to be. All I was trying to do, if I'm posting content, I'm telling women, I'm telling men, take accountability, have a real, really when you heal.
A Chinese mystical force recognized by the Illuminati.
Telling women, I'm telling men, take accountability, have a real, really when you heal, you in all your relationships, take accountability. If I'm not taking accountability, I'm a hypocrite. If I don't sit in that seat and I'm telling people to sit in that seat, then I am a hypocrite.
Then you are a hypocrite because you are taking no accountability whatsoever. It's you over there who I don't know, who I didn't have a commitment to, have to create a safe place for me to come out and take accountability. I don't take accountability and get what comes with that, which is not taking accountability if you don't take the criticism and the consequences. See, that's really the difference. You're just saying you're not even saying you're responsible because you said that you don't. You're not even taking back the decision that you made. You just would have made it at a different time instead of at the moment while you were emotional. So you don't even say that your decision was wrong. You don't own any ownership for making the decision. It's based on other people being in your ear and lying about who was in your ear.
Right.
And
And so I'm saying to myself,
so you don't take ownership of doing anything wrong. You blame it on other people. You lie about who was in your ear to, again, further lessen any responsibility on your part. And then you say whether or not you're going to have character and take accountability is dependent on other people making it safe for you because it's supposed to be safe for you to get consequences for your actions, which is what accountability is about, is taking responsibility and accepting the consequences. That equals accountability. And you're saying there should be no consequence, not even some verbal criticism of you doing wrong. But then again, you don't own doing any wrong. You are out of control, lady. But let's hear some more.
right? And so in my mind, I'm saying to myself, okay, Sam, I went into that thing. I prayed to God. I said, God, what do you want me to do? God said, be authentic. And I said, okay, God. I jumped into the thing. The plan was to talk about dating after divorce. But when I got in there, the change of plan, whoop, change of plan. We're going to talk about how you got to your decision. And if there's anything you regret about the process that you would, or how you would advise somebody else to do it. And so that's exactly what we did, and I was being as truthful without shaming another person as I could be. And that's what accountability is. But I do want
to... No, it is not, as I just explained. No, it is not. Accountability is taking the responsibility for your wrong and taking the consequences of admitting that. That means when you're accountable, I accept that I've done something that's a problem, that was wrong, that was mistaken, whatever have you. And I accept that there are consequences for that. At a bare minimum, I accept getting criticism for having done wrong. All you've done is said, I didn't do anything wrong. I wouldn't change anything except the timing. It's other people's fault who are in my ear. And it's also your fault for not making it safe for me to pretend like I'm being humble and making an admission when I'm not admitting anything. I'm just blaming other people. Unbelievable.
I want to say that as a woman taking accountability in that particular instance, that would make me never want to do it again.
Of course, because you have bad character. Because you're never being accountable in the first place. Because you tried to run a scam and you got called on it. You tried to scam people into believing this fake pretense of you pretending to be humble, but you're not humble at all. You take no responsibility for having done anything wrong. All you said is, I just wouldn't have done it that day. I wouldn't have done it while I was emotional. I still would have left my husband for nothing. I just wouldn't have done it while I was emotional. What admission is that? What are you taking accountability for? You're taking accountability for nothing. And then even that you blew off as, well, women are emotional, so, that's just how it is. Fella, you got to stay away from these chicks. You see how audacious her personality is? how kind of aggressive and boisterous her personality is. She's not very soft. You can know these things from these women up front. As we've talked about through a number of videos recently, through all the Jeannie Mai videos, through the videos about Tia Mowry, and here you go again. You guys have got to stop getting wrapped up in this. You guys are going by what you see instead of by what you can experience from her just from dealing with her through a video for a few minutes. I'm seeing everything about her that's every kind of wrong. How can you date a woman, be with her for a time, and not see and understand these problems with her that she clearly demonstrates? Any woman who doesn't take accountability is poison. Any woman who always needs to be right, and look, she always needs to be right. She did nothing wrong. She won't change anything. She shouldn't have any consequences or even criticism for halfway kind of making it seem like she was admitting something wrong. And everything should just be nice and sweet for her when she does pretend to give a half admission, and she should not have to have actual accountability for her actions. This woman is poison. You guys got to stop getting wrapped up in a look. She looks good. She is not good. There is nothing good protruding from her. She can bring up God all she wants to. She shows no evidence of any interaction with God whatsoever. She had no problem with destroying her marriage over petty nothing that she had committed before God. Meant nothing to her to throw that covenant aside. So understand what you're dealing with, and let's choose better. Yobachi 2007. With this one, I'm out. Peace.